Meeting is called to order.
Thank you.
It's 3. And I don't see everybody who's here on my tiny phone screen. I'm not used to doing this on my phone. So, yeah, Samantha,
Roberto just joined.
did he? All right. And
Hello, good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Good evening.
you made it just fine. Must have been,
Just made it on time.
yeah, a little push. So, Michelle, you have met Greg and me and Rob, but you haven't met Roberto yet, or
Correct.
Samantha.
Hi.
Hi, Michelle. Nice to meet you,
Nice to meet you too.
and welcome to the team.
You want me to introduce myself or?
Yes, please.
Yes,
Okay.
sounds good.
All right. So yeah, moved to West Linn in 2020, and I'm my training is basically environmental scientist. So I used to work for NASA Ames Research Center in the Bay Area. 14 years. I do a lot of mostly remote sensing and machine learning stuff.
Dylan, if you can unmute yourself because it's cycling.
Yeah, something is echoing. Okay. Yeah, so I'm doing mostly atmosphere, air quality, climate related stuff, but a lot of, machine learning related and remote sensing stuff. Yeah, but now I'm, and I wanted to contribute. I just love this city and the nature and the trees mostly and the rivers. So I want them to stay where they are and how they are. So that's why I'm here.
It's great, thank you. So I'm Roberto Batroni. I joined the advisory board like a year and a half ago. And Greg is my neighbor, so we've been discussing, and I'm an engineer. I worked for Intel for many years, and now I'm working for NVIDIA. So it gives me the opportunity to understand data centers as well and what's the impact. But I'm working in the infrastructure side, so I have a lot of understanding there.
Nice. And then I met Rob, I met Greg, and I met Victoria.
And hi, sorry, I'm Samantha, trying to feed toddlers at the same time. I was a middle school science teacher, and now I work in curriculum development for the publishing company McGraw-Hill, focusing on their science curriculum. And I moved here 4 years ago in 2022. But same as you, Mikkel, I love nature, and I love my degree is in marine biology, but lots of environmental that as well. And so I love to be in nature and want to help the city protect that.
Nice.
Well, thank you all. I don't see that we have anybody from the public here. I don't know if we haven't really had a meeting in 2 months. Maybe it'd be nice to do a quick check-in for the people who haven't spoken yet. So
Well, and maybe Victoria, we should have Dylan say a little bit about what he does in his role vis-a-vis the SAB.
I like your thinking, Greg.
Sure. And I can kind of tell, I think my video is lagging, at least on my end. I don't know how it looks for you guys, but I might turn that off. Is it weird?
It's not too weird. A little off.
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay. Anyway, yeah, I'm the staff liaison to the Sustainability Advisory Board. My title is assistant to the city manager, and so I do a number of things: emergency management, sustainability. I do a lot of stuff with the city council, whatever projects they're interested in at the moment. And I'm taking on all sorts of other things. I've done like like a project management for the cultural center down at Willamette Falls.
Oh, really?
Just a
Wow.
lot of random projects that come up land in my lap. So yeah, it's everything. And I can't remember if curbside composting is on the agenda. Is it, Victoria? It's not. That is the
Well,
one thing I was going to check in on. Sorry.
it is actually one of the items that's on the list
Okay.
of
I can
low-hanging
wait.
fruit.
I'll,
So it'll come
I'll
up
wait till we get.
then.
I'll wait till we get there. Then I'm good.
Yeah, great.
Okay.
Oh, and Lou said that he is out of town back in New Jersey visiting his grandchildren. I saw him on Tuesday at the pop-up demonstration, which he's a loyal participant in. So that was good.
We ought to make sure to take notes that, well, he's got the AI assist notes now available to see
Yeah,
use that. I guess that'll be fine.
yeah.
Don't have a special summary for him. Okay, Greg, you wanna say what you've been
Oh,
up?
check in. Yeah, the fun thing in my garden this year is that my middle son gave me some heritage seeds, and so I planted. I tried to create a three sisters garden, putting the corn and the squash and the beans in the same mound. The corn is about 12 feet tall, and the beans are climbing up the corn, and the squash are about 2 feet long, and it's like a winter crookneck squash, but I've never seen a crookneck squash so gigantic. So it's been fun just to see like what came up, from these seeds, from heritage seeds from like pioneer days. So that's been fun to see.
That's fun. I have planted a Three Sisters 2 or 3 times now, making critical errors each time. Don't plant bush beans.
Oh yeah, that would be a mistake. The
Don't-
beans really are climbing up the corn, but to have a corn that's 12 feet tall is just like extraordinary. It's like taller than an elephant's eye, if you kind of remember the song from Oklahoma.
Do you have, by the way, power lines next to the corn or no?
No power line next to the corn, thank goodness.
Okay.
So
Because
I think
I
they're
heard,
probably going to
yeah, I
stop
heard
shortly.
someone that had huge corn and they planted it under power lines. So,
Oh no,
yeah,
interesting.
yeah.
Okay.
So,
So, yeah. I'm sorry, I'm trying to take notes and think at the same time, and it doesn't work very well. So, yeah, I'll just give a quick check-in. Dylan already knows that I worked on the Be 2 Weeks Ready in my neighborhood, and a friend of mine worked with me on our 2 blocks. Her block that backs up to my one block. So we had 25 houses that we stopped by and said, "Hey, do you want to do this emergency preparedness program through the state?" And 13 families showed up. We had 15 people out of the 25, which is more than half showed.
Fantastic, yeah.
I know. And we had a wonderful meeting in the local fire hall where people came up with creative ideas. They were all enthusiastic. I, I used some of my teaching techniques to get them into small groups talking to each other, and they were happy to meet each other and to establish more of a neighborhood feeling with the 2 streets. They decided they wanted to do the food first of the food, water, shelter, first aid, and waste. I missed something. So let's do food first, and let's get together again in October and have a tasting party for the time. It said, they're having these doubts about freeze-dried food and what that would be like. So let's just try some of this. I thought that was such a somebody wanted to do that. So we're going to meet 3 times throughout the winter and have a final party in this park in the summer to show and help each other through this, because you try and do it by yourself, it's too boring. It just can't. You just look at this whole all possible to do in the work. It's too much, and you leave it on the shelf. So we had a good time, and I've met new neighbors. That's my check-in.
Fantastic.
That's a great size group. Thank you again, Victoria. That's good news.
Yeah, you're welcome. I'm happy to counsel anybody, if they want to do it in the neighborhood make it a way to make it fun. Yeah. So, Roberto, I need to check with you.
Yep.
Which one of us is leading this meeting? Because I
can lead the meeting. I can continue with the agenda if that's okay with you, and move forward from check-ins to approval of the minutes. Is that what is next?
Sure.
Yep. All right. Thank you all. So so let's do approval for the June minutes. Oh, can you still hear me? Can you still hear me?
Mhm.
Yeah, looks like it dropped. Yeah. Thank you. The approval of the June minutes were sent by Dylan before in the invitation. Were you able to read them, review them?
Yes, they were excellent.
Yep.
I would move to approve the minutes.
Second.
We have problems.
Did you have a question?
No, I was just raising my hand saying aye.
Yep.
Sorry about that. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm back. I can hear now. I wasn't listening.
Okay.
Sorry. Yeah. So approval for the minutes, June minutes, they were sent by Dylan. You guys had an opportunity to read them and went through. Yeah.
Mhm.
So is
Yep,
that
we approve.
approval, including the topic about the compost? Please raise your hands if you agree or say agree. Yeah.
Mhm.
And this is
Agree.
protocol, Michelle. Like we ask and we ask for the members to approve, or you can disagree as well if you are not.
Okay, I read the document, but I'm not sure which one of them you're talking about now.
We're
So
talking about the so Dylan sent the agenda, SAB agenda for this meeting
Mhm.
previously, and there's one of the PDFs in the link.
May I say something?
Yeah.
The minutes for a meeting 2 months ago, and I would suggest, Michelle, that you just pass on that since you weren't present at the meeting and can't affirm that you agree or disagree.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, that's why I read, you sent me the minutes, right? And then, yeah.
You want.
Yeah.
All right. So approve, everybody? Yeah.
Approve.
Okay. So we can move forward to review the first topic, which is looking at our 2026 goals. And there are specific points there to discuss. Is reviewing the number 13, which is the rainwater management. Like continue with the discussion on the low cost items, that it was another document attached to this meeting. And from the materials management through the community inclusion. So that's a topic to discuss today. Anybody? There's no person right now in in this topic, but I think everybody can your points. Who wants to start?
Since I mentioned it earlier, just the compost pickup with regard to kind of working with Wesleyan Refuse Company, and Dylan said he had something to report back on that, which is something we've been, Michelle, we've been talking about it for a number of years.
I think this topic is the rainwater management, right, Greg? And
No,
continue the low cost.
was the rainwater management part of the whole list of items?
If you review the agenda, number 5 is looking at the number 13.
Of that list.
Yes.
Okay.
So I don't know, Dylan, can I share my screen during the meeting so everybody can see the points?
It should be. Yeah.
Okay. I'm sharing right now. Let me know. Oops. Okay. Okay, is this big enough? You can see? So this is the point where right now we approved the meetings and now we're, is this June? Sorry, this is August, right? Victoria?
No, you're approving June minutes, right? Because today is August.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Okay. Yeah, we distribute those. Thank you. Now looking for this point about the point number 13 of the rainwater management. That's in the low cost items. Are you able to see that? This one here, right?
Can you make it a little larger, please?
I'm trying. Yeah.
Okay. There we go.
Is it better?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Good. So this document is low cost board initiatives that will probably resonate and be more aligned to the city needs and expectations. And one of them is number 13, which is about water. That was in the agenda. So you want guys to focus on this and then we can discuss the compost at the end?
Actually, Roberto, I think we were having a conversation about all of these different items, and we happened to, I think we just stopped at number 13. So maybe for Michelle and Michelle's help with this, all of these items are from the city's sustainability action plan. And so we had gone through and kind of identified some that would be not costly to implement, trying to decide which of these we might want to kind of attend to in terms of looking at our work over the next several months. And so number 13 was one of those, but it really includes all of the different items, deciding like which of those we might want to in fact address. And I think, as I recall, at our last meeting, we were asked to choose 3 or 4 from this entire list that we felt would be useful to try to explore.
Right. Yeah. Thank you, Ray, for the
Yeah,
clarification. That's true.
Sorry, but I do have a question. Because I missed the meeting in June, sorry, that I printed up a bunch of stuff. I printed this because I knew I couldn't see it on my phone. I printed up the agenda, but I did not print up the minutes. And I want to know if the few that were looked at closely in general energy and natural areas, if the ones that were looked at last June got put into the minutes.
There's
So-
the minutes actually look at all of those different items from that we had discussed. So that information is included in the minutes.
But were any favorites mentioned in the minute?
When we went through them, Dylan was suggesting that many of them had in fact been addressed,
Yeah,
and the city was addressing them. Yeah.
okay. I mean, it's been a week since I read the minutes and I just didn't
Uh-huh.
bring it with me to the coast. So I'll look at those
Sure.
again. We can move on. Sorry and thank you.
No problem.
So we should start with 13 and go through 27.
Dylan,
Yeah,
is it easy for you, Dylan, to put a link in the chat to the document so we can look at it independently?
so that it's in the email
Yeah,
he
I
sent,
can do that.
Rob? Yeah. Okay, perfect.
Great.
Also, let me share the
Oh, it's on the
minutes.
webpage. Okay.
Yeah, it's here the agenda, but the
Oh, actually, yeah, we don't have a
minutes.
chat. I forgot. Yeah.
Where are
Yeah.
the
Okay.
minutes,
But I can get it from
Dylan?
there. Yeah. No problem.
Yeah.
Got it.
Is there a way to find the minutes here?
Plus I sent them out.
Yeah. Yep. It got it. It's okay. Don't worry.
Okay.
It's easier to see by myself. I just didn't see that second email.
Is there a way to see the minutes in here in the webpage?
Yep.
Dylan.
Okay, there we go. Okay, so we're starting at 13. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot to work through. Do we want to take a chunk here or what?
I think we also discuss more. We're talking about other topics like 14 and 15 appearing to be already covered by the city. So 14 and 15 were covered. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Is there a way to find those minutes in the links in the webpage? Dylan, can you help us?
I don't
Please?
think so. I'll have to re-email them. I'll find
I
them real
have
quick.
the minutes.
Oh, okay.
I think Victoria sent them to me, right?
Okay. So I have them in my cell phone right now. So so appear to be 14 and 15 of this document already covered by the city stormwater management manual from May 2025. So these are already covered.
Mhm.
We just encourage and we discuss this topic about harvesting, like making like promoting ways of harvesting, but nothing very concrete about that. Like we just talk about many possibilities of water harvesting and encouraging the community to do that. Is that was accurate or?
Yeah, because I remember somebody was asking if we had any municipal buildings that have it as an example. And I think the fire station was mentioned, if I recall correctly.
Exactly. Yeah, good. Thank you. But that's it, right? And then we mentioned that August meeting with each member asked to review the list individually and beforehand and come prepared, not just with four 3 items of this list. But I think we just need to read this document and come back probably next meeting because I think it's gonna be super long session if we just go by one by one.
There's another way we could look at just like materials management and see if anybody has focused on one or two there that they care about.
Yeah.
So that section is say, instead of going all the way through each one, just say who here has got one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's do that.
So I had thought that number 19 might be interesting. Write and adopt a city environmentally preferable purchasing policy. Dylan, do you know whether anything like that has ever been done?
Yeah, I know we have some mention of some things to that effect in our procurement code. I can poke into that real quick.
No, that's great. And I think 2023, right, is one of the topics we want to
Right.
cover.
Yes, right. That was one of one of the 4 that I'd chosen.
I'm reading the minutes in my phone, but it's very little.
It's tough. I
Yeah.
feel tired though.
Okay, I have my glasses. Yeah, so I think 19 is a good one. Like by example, right? If the city is able to do something, we encourage as a community to do something. It's a lot of waste when we buy things.
Yeah, so I'm looking at the purchasing rules, which are on the finance website, on the city's website, so everyone can look at them. We have a whole section that is recycled purchasing guidelines. So yeah, we have that.
All right.
And Dylan, do you know how much people actually kind of abide by those suggestions?
I think generally yes. I mean, I know there's a lot of like with paper. I know in the past there's been a lot of talk about this, getting the recycled paper of certain content. I'm not the one that does that directly, but I've heard stuff like that. So
Uh-huh.
I think it's generally happening. I'm kind of looking at that section right now, trying to find it, see what I know.
Just a question to the group. Would it make sense to actually spend time at some meeting just reviewing those guidelines and seeing whether or not there's anything else we would like to see added to it?
Yeah, I'll send it to the group and everyone can take some time to look at it. It's section 90 in it. So yeah, can look at it when everyone has time.
Let's do that.
Great.
And there is a lot of
Good.
stuff about paper. I was remembering right.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Um,
So what about 2023? We should discuss that or another one?
And Dylan said he had something to report back about that anyway.
Yeah, is now a good time?
Yes.
Yeah, so I have been talking to the Westland Refuse people. I'm gonna have a meeting with them. We haven't scheduled it yet, but possibly next week. And I brought up that we want to revisit the curbside composting, and wanted to see if there was anything in the market that's changed from the last time when we looked at it to make it more attractive. So I've done that, and also an issue came up with a question about recycling in parks. And so I am just kind of been going after that on my own a little bit, about why don't we have recycling in our parks? And it is something that we've had in the past and it didn't
Yeah.
work. People would throw garbage in the bins and then the company can't pick them up. And then the park staff was having to manually dump the heavy bins into the garbage bin. So everything was ending up in the garbage. It was a bunch of work for the staff. It didn't work. But I talked to the park staff. They're very open to doing recycling in the parks. They already do recycling at the events. At all their recreation events, they do recycling already. But not like in the parks themselves. So I've talked to the parks people. I've talked to Westland Refuge. Like, kind of, is there any solutions? There's different kinds of bins, or something that we could maybe try, maybe a pilot, to get recycling in the parks again. So I'm going to talk to them about those 2 issues. So
Cool.
This is good. Yeah.
Dylan,
Thanks. Does it make?
would it help at all
Oh, go
to
ahead.
have Yeah, Dylan, would it help to have any citizen representation with you when you talk to Westland Refuse?
Maybe. I mean, I actually suggested, my first suggestion was, would you be willing to come to the SAB to talk to them? And they wanted to talk to me first. It's not that they're against talking to everyone. I think they just kind of want to talk and see where things are at, and just kind of a little primer. And I think they're still willing to come to the group.
Yeah, good.
So yeah,
Good.
Yeah.
because ultimately
Is there
that's what I
And
want. I want them to come talk to us as a group. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think we'll
Yeah,
just do a
when
little
we
pre-work and then they'll come to the group.
yeah, when that happens, we should alert some of those other folks who seem so interested and
yeah.
let them come and be public.
Yeah, that's a good
Yeah,
idea.
because I was impressed. That was one of the issues that came up during the old time fair. Uh, People really kind of interested in figuring out how we could do curbside compost recycling. Like a former Westland resident who had just moved here from New York City was just shocked that you couldn't recycle compost in the city
Mhm.
after his experience in New York.
Yeah. Of course,
So,
And
like, just keep going with that, Dylan. We see it would be great to meet with them again and see whether we can actually get some movement on this.
well, again, if we're supposed to pull out 4 of these from this long list of what, 28, this looks like one of the ones, obviously, that we're pulling out, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And we'll keep working on it. So, have we
Okay.
pulled any others out of this list so far? I'm a little
Well, just
lost.
kind of reviewing the city's policy with regard to purchasing.
Number
So Dylan was going
19.
to send us
Yeah.
that. Yeah, I think number
Okay.
19.
All right.
He's gonna send us the finance
Yeah.
All right.
guidelines. Yeah.
I have a question about number 17, because some years ago, I don't know, 5 or 6, when Sunset Elementary was going to be built, and I was at a city hall meetings to discuss the new school, and I just wanted to talk about why aren't they using pavers in the parking lot the way that the city has? And the architects and engineers were incredibly rude and dismissed me as ignorant, when in fact the city's already used them in parking lots down by the park, down by the river, and by the fire station, and in the parking lot at Fields Bridge. And I know the pavers are more sustainable than concrete or than pavement,
Asphalt. Yeah,
Mhm.
our code or not.
that's true.
An example of building materials. And that's the only example that I know anything about, because that one came up.
I think. And are you talking about a specific building? Is that the new building project or something else?
I just wondered if this has been done. I mean, the management goal 1 strategy 2 has there been an amendment to building codes since 5 years ago, when the architects to Sunset Elementary brushed me off so annoyingly?
Yeah, I think that's a good point. How's to address this, because there's going to be more efficiencies and price and cost reduction with asphalt compared to pavers, but pavers are going to be probably a material that let water absorption and things like that, but which other materials, right? Not only that.
Yeah.
Uh,
They said, well, we're heavy, and I just thought, I couldn't even.
yes.
They're already in use in places with heavy trucks, like at the police station, fire station. Yeah. So anyway, I just wondered if there's a way to look at, see if that is something that's already has been taken care of.
Yeah.
Dylan, is there a way to know that?
I don't know.
I'm sorry, can you say that again? My thing's been breaking up.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm looking at number 17 and that goal, if that's already been amended in the last 5 years.
I don't, that's probably not something that we have, but I would have to check with our building department.
Is it worth it to have you do that?
I don't know, we don't have a lot of buildable land left. I mean, that's something we've been talking about in the city. A lot of things are changing. Our SDCs are going down, systems development charges and things are kind of might come down just because we just don't have a lot of buildable inventory. So, there is how much effort you want to put into something like that when we don't have a lot
Oh,
Right.
of building left.
school district seems enough places to
Yeah,
build.
but if it's in the code, if there's a change, or for example, they want to repave or change the parking lot in the park, the code will enforce to use different type of materials rather than asphalt or concrete, right? So
Wood.
I think it's important to check. Yeah.
Okay. If you can, Dylan.
Okay.
We'll put it in the minutes.
I was going to say we'll have it in action notes, right? Yeah.
So moving on to, I'm not muted. Okay, moving on to health and food. Establish a Westland garden team that will work to convert available residential and commercial lots into community gardens throughout the city. Victoria and I have been talking about our lot. Has anything happened? Anybody know whether anything's happened along this line formally? I mean,
I know that, Rob, several years ago, we brought up the question of trying to locate additional places in the city, like on city land or some of the easements behind houses, if they could be used as community gardens. And the city was not particularly encouraging about it, in part because of the expense of putting in water systems for those. And we had explored the possibility of I think the south part of Mary S. Young Park has areas that would be potentially appropriate for community gardens, but it was just going to be kind of too expensive to install the water. I know that, Victoria, you had been involved with that to some extent in talking with folks at the city level about trying to create more community garden space. Can you report back on like what happened with those conversations and whether you think the creation of a garden team would make sense?
Yeah, what I learned was that they said that it would cost, I was specifically exploring some property in my neighborhood that is near the fire hall and it's city property. And the answer was it would cost about $10,000 to put the water in and do it right. Just to, and I don't have the specifics on that, but that was their ballpark there. And they don't have a budget for that.
Right.
So they said, really, we can't start a new one. And if you want more people to have community gardens, then start cutting your plots in half because ours are 20 by 20 and they're bigger than anybody in the entire Tri-City County. So,
But I have a question. So the window harvesting, like planting and harvesting, how many months during the year this is like an active garden? Is it the whole year?
out in February, March. I could say more people in March to October.
October,
Yeah.
yeah, March to October.
Yeah.
And is a way that with the help of some ideas and the people interested in these projects, like implement a sustainable way of harvesting water, like doing like a total sustainable garden with limitations, of course.
That would be interesting work.
Tricky. Yeah.
Yeah, or dry farming, basically.
With using solar devices, using harvesting water, and the correct orientation, the correct kind of vegetables, probably, because there are limitations, right? When you don't have everything there. So I don't know. That's
Desert farming. That Three Sisters started with desert farming.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah,
So-
tomatoes you can also grow. Right.
Yeah, one of the reasons I
Another-
raise this is Victoria and I have talked about. So we have a piece of land that is already, it's got water. It could be used. So I think what I'm getting at is one of the things. If there's interest, one of the things we might push for is to determine if there are other pieces of land like that, residential land, that's already got water to it, but it's not used. And that, those are sensible places to at least approach property owners. Would you welcome community gardens on your property? Under what conditions, et cetera?
Yeah, there's actually a program in Anchorage, Alaska, where people can submit, their names if they'd be willing to volunteer to have part of their land used for a community garden in that way. And so if you don't have an appropriate place to garden yourself, then you can contact this particular organization. So it is the sort of thing the city could conceivably try to coordinate in one way or another. But I think, one of the tricks would be try to figure out, particularly at the cost of water right now, how all of the expense would not fall upon the property owners for the
Right.
water that would be used during the growing season. But it certainly seems like something worth exploring, since the city doesn't seem to have much available land, but there may well be people who are willing to provide spots where community members could garden.
Greg, there's also one in Portland. I have a friend who her neighbors use her land to
Uh-huh.
have gardens on her place in northeast, southwest Portland somewhere.
So maybe it'd be worth just at least finding out how these organizations work in terms of water expense.
Yeah. I'll ask my friend how they do the water.
That's great.
Good. Rob, about how many plots do you think you'd be able to support at your property?
Victoria, do you remember what we said?
I'm supposed to figure that out, and I needed to measure your plot, and I thought I'd better come over in the middle of the night and measure your piece again, because I made it down with some paper and think, well, okay, 5 by 10 plots, how many and pathways in between, and but I just
Right.
has a dozen, maybe 15, maybe 20.
Yeah, I think that's what we.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's. I
That'd
mean,
be
it's a big
good.
piece of property.
The other
Yeah.
thing is parking. They don't want people parking along the road.
All right.
His
Yeah, and again, other properties may have. We probably would have that solved because we have a big long driveway. But I guess my point is we should just investigate how this works elsewhere, and
Yeah.
we begin to find out if there's other pieces of property like this in Westland.
Yeah.
And how do we pay for our water? My wife pays the bills, but we pay a flat fee every month, right?
Yeah. So that'd be free from the city because it's a maximum fee.
Mhm.
Right.
Usage
Yeah.
fee. I have discussed, I believe, how silly that is.
Yeah, we should be paying differently, but let's not talk about that. All right.
If you go,
I think there's a flat fee up to a certain cubic footage, and then there
Yeah.
is like
Uh-huh.
then there's more. That's right. Usually
Yeah.
Yeah. So okay, I'll find out some more about it. Find out how it
And
works.
yeah, and I will investigate the Anchorage. I'll see if I can find. I just found something on the web here. I'll see if I can find out from those folks. I'll
Just
send an email.
Okay.
How's that?
Great. Sounds good.
So Rob, not acreage, but this many feet or yards by this many feet or yards.
Right.
Measure. Okay. And I want to say one other thing is that Rob and I mentioned I'll need to talk to Parks and Rec, but they don't have a director right now. Dylan, when are we
Yeah,
gonna-
Dylan. How soon?
A new Parks and Rec director, is that the question?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have not heard anything yet. I don't think they've started the recruitment. I think, they did a recruitment once and they didn't really find anyone that fit. And they've been doing some reorganizing internally. And then I think that, if I recall, don't hold me to this, but I think maybe they're going to look again in the fall. They were kind of giving a little time and then maybe going to try again in the fall. We do have a temporary parks director right now that's like helping reorganize stuff. They're doing like inventory of park things and facilities. And so, yeah, there's not like a huge rush, but so I think in the fall they might try again.
Is that a person who could answer this kind of question? The temp?
What was the question specifically?
Question. Can we use private property for a community garden? Would that still go through Parks and Rec as the way that public one does, or not?
They might have experience with that. They work in like lots of different cities. So, I mean, it's certainly a question we can ask. If you want to put it on the action list, I can ask them.
Great.
Or do you wanna?
Sorry, I didn't hear. Victoria, what'd you say?
And I was wondering if I should ask them or if you want to.
That is Dylan. Let's let Dylan ask. Dylan, can you ask?
Yeah, I can do it. It's fine.
Great.
Good.
All right, we got some things left to do, and it's 10 to 7. What time do we go to usually?
7:30.
7:30.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I had just one other item in health and food. Number 27, identify public and private facilities that could meet code standards to be used as shelters, electronic charging stations, and command centers in the event of emergencies, which is part of the health and food goal number 4, strategy 1. It would certainly be tied into the whole effort with the 2-week ready program. Dylan, do you know like whether the city has tried to do something like that?
Well, we have 2 established centers. The library is our main like storm center. We have had that as a storm center, like charge your cell phone, come get some water, or like during the recent smoke stuff. Same thing with like the community room open as a space to come that's like cleaner air. So yeah, that is our main space, and because the library has a generator, that's our main like storm center space. The adult community center is kind of the backup. It doesn't have a generator yet, but as long as it has power, we can use it. People can always go to both when they're open as places to hang out if they need.
But not very many people could actually hang out at the library for any length of time if there were a major emergency.
Right. I mean, you mean like sleeping for days or something like that.
Right.
That's you mean, yeah. That would be something, where we would want to maybe partner with the school district or something. Yeah. And the Red Cross.
Yeah. So it would be it seems like it would be worth at least investigating that question and just see like what would need to be done to actually try to get something finalized in terms of agreements with regard to where those shelters might be.
Yeah, and the county has been doing the county disaster management, which we meet with regularly. They've, especially recently, they've really gotten good at coordinating with all the cities, and we're meeting with them all the time. We met with them during all this wildfire stuff. They have a mass care plan. I think I'm not sure if they're I think they're still working on it right now. I don't know if it's like public, but that's the thing they have their eyes on, is getting facilities as mass care places to stay. That's a plan they have.
Okay.
So would you suggest that it makes sense just to leave it to the, the emergency managers at the county level to try
Um,
to kind of create these systems?
I don't know. I don't think it hurts to also have our own discussions with our more local group. I think
Okay.
that's also worthwhile. Yeah, and we can always coordinate back with the county and be like, hey, we've negotiated this thing. Yeah,
Okay.
worthwhile.
So I would include that as another thing if other people agree uh, that we could potentially look at.
Yeah, I think it's important.
All right. Just have that in the agenda and in the minutes so we can follow up. Is there any other point in this general topic? We move to community inclusion. So for this one, I have an idea and a point about organizing volunteering activities. I've seen a lot of, and this is a part of the canopy, the tree canopy, like preservation or encouraging to increase it instead of decreasing it. And the idea is that I've been seeing volunteering groups in parks working in cleaning, removing invasive species, but the problem is that we are not doing, or maybe I'm not aware of, replanting or adding more trees into our community. And I know there might be the code not being aligned to that kind of activities, or we need more permits. But it's like how we are aware of those volunteering activities and we encourage them to maybe include that kind of activity in volunteering, right? I know the web page, Dylan, that we have in the city, it shows all the events and all those activities. But I think as a sustainability advisory group, board, we should be aware of what is the impact in terms of having more trees in the city. What do you think?
I am aware, Parks does do some volunteer like planting events. I
Yeah.
know they at least do once a year. I don't know if they are doing other ones, but those do happen.
Okay. Can you
I,
connect us or send us information about that, or connect us with the new parks and recreation leaders?
Yeah, add another action item. Yeah, track
Um,
of it.
I have
Thank
something.
you. Thank you. I'm sorry.
right. Well, I think actually the suggestion in this particular point about coming up with a directory of organizations that provide volunteer activities throughout the city might in fact be really helpful to do. That could be, put up on the city website. So if people are interested in volunteering, and it does actually address one of the things that the city council had asked us to address in terms of community inclusion. So finding out there may well already be a list like that. I'm just not aware of it. So it might be another useful thing just to kind of research and then see whether we could come up with some kind of directory that could be placed on the city website.
That would be great.
Yeah, can I, Roberta, actually, I think you have a good point in terms of removing the invasives, but then you have to replant something instead of them. I think otherwise the invasive will just come back. So
Right.
this is one point. And the second one is related to the ash trees. If we are going to do a survey, and I know, so in terms of ecosystem, because of the emerald ash borer, it's recommended to plant now, basically, small, bare root trees next to them, like maples or,
Yeah.
so in case that something happens, we already have something. So, and, buying bare root is like, if we buy it like in bulk, it's, $2 or depends, depends on the nurseries, but this can be maybe also part of this tree canopy
Mhm.
school project, because it's not a huge budget, like $300 can give you lots of bare root plants,
Yeah.
which
Yeah,
it's
and,
really-
and enough that we could take care of, right? Because it's not just planting. Sometimes it requires more, right?
Mhm.
I think maybe that can be a topic we can discuss offline, because we have the support from the Oregon Department of Forestry to do
Okay.
the surveys with the tools that they provided.
Mhm.
I think there was an impact with the Parks and Recreation department in the city that we are not, like, right now using a lot of resources. But there's one volunteer, Victoria was pointing out, a person who was about to work this summer, and at the back side of the uh, school. So we can start with a small proof of concept
Mhm.
project,
Mhm.
and encourage the replanting and the the sequential actions or
Mhm.
subsequent actions.
Mhm.
The city of Lake Oswego has a lot of learning and experience with this, and we have a lot of information and support from them too. We just need time, or just need to organize volunteers and start moving forward. Um, um, but we can work offline if you're interested, and Victoria, you and I, and we just define a project.
I have something to add.
Yeah,
My phone battery is just about to die. So I've turned off my video to preserve it a little bit. But a couple of weeks ago, I talked to a man who was heading up the volunteers for this. And they were working at Fieldsbridge Park, which is why I talked to him. And they've planted new trees all the way along between this pathway and the river
Hmm.
in the park. And they are all natives. I walked along to see what it was that they planted. It was an interesting variety. I'm not sure that they'll all work, but they'll see what works and what doesn't. But they would be somebody to talk to. And I think I have the guy's card maybe, but it's Jeff from Solve. So
Yeah, because Solve does a lot of stuff like that in terms of both invasive removal, but then the planting of natives. So kind of working with Solve, and Solve already is working with many of our parks. And I know they've actually planted a lot of kind of lower growing understory plants, natives, by the Pike Path. It's just down by us, Roberto.
Mm.
So, they've been removing blackberries, but then planting thimbleberries, for example.
Mhm.
Okay, this is great.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
we need to put all together and see
Yeah.
the scope and what are the realities. Because
Mhm.
to be honest, I thought I was able to make it, but then I got super busy and I
Uh-huh.
wasn't able. But I have a lot of material, information, contacts as well. We just need to define a plan and program and move forward with more hands to help with.
I'm going to have
Yeah.
to say my phone's about to die.
Oh,
So
Sorry.
Goodbye, Victoria. Thank you.
check out
Thank you,
what's
Victoria. Yeah.
Bye.
Is there any other topic you want to discuss on this list? This is the agenda, sorry. Here.
Maybe just for future reference, think about
Yeah.
like whether there are any educational offerings that we're interested in trying to organize over the next several months.
Okay.
That was kind of the next set of
Topic.
items that was on this
Yeah.
particular list. So, but maybe not now, but in the future, look at that.
That's a good idea. So,
Yeah.
so let's review the email from Dylan, and we can check this list again and bring back. We're gonna send the minutes at some point. Is there So we can move forward with the other topics, right?
Yeah.
We still have number 6 and 7. Tree canopy. Oh, okay, perfect. So my point here is related with the same topic we discussed 1 minute ago. Like, we need to see if our tree code is really aligned to not just conservation or preservation, but also like improving the tree canopy.
Mhm.
In a quick look I had of LiDAR GIS information from the tools that the Oregon Department of Forestry shared to me, I could see like within 10 years, we lost like 5% of the tree canopy just by LiDAR satellite, federal satellite surveys. And that was 10 years ago. I don't think this has changed a lot, but we had the ice storm affect a lot. And we didn't replant more trees. We just
Right.
lost a lot of trees.
Mhm.
So I think we lost probably another 8% or 10% for sure. That is going to affect wetlands, and that will be affecting also rivers and our ability to ingest more carbon. So I think that's something we can work on with all these tree canopy initiatives, volunteers, and start finding proposing more ideas to bring up the community to do something. This is wetlands are important too, and also encouraging the city and the council to be very aware of the carbon impact if our wetlands get affected. And I'm going to start in a topic related to what is the growth of the city related to developments and residential. But I think it's very important. So if we can work offline in a project that we define activities, that'll be probably something I will be very happy to contribute to the city. But I think we have to do it together. That's all I have for that topic. I don't know if you want to do something else.
Well, probably the residential tree code ordinance need to be revisited. It feels like people are just tearing up trees and it's too easy to do. And old growth trees, like I'm not even talking about tiny trees. So, maybe also combining or giving incentives to residents to not tear the trees or to plant new trees on residential properties.
Yeah,
So
because
Michelle,
go ahead.
Oh, I was just curious, Michelle, were the trees in your neighborhood that were taken down by property owners just because they didn't want the trees there anymore, or were these properties being developed?
Well, some of them were just, let's say in the middle of the yard and they interfered, with the sun, I don't know, over their vegetable garden, something like that.
Uh-huh.
Like huge maple tree. And then some cedars, big cedars were taken out because I think they were like expanding their house or something. But,
Mhm.
it's hard to say, to tell someone, oh, you cannot expand your house because you have a tree next to it. It's,
Right.
but then maybe, yeah, like making sure they replant other trees or, at least native something to,
Mhm.
like maintain the native environment instead of like tearing up a tree, building something and then putting a lawn. I don't know, just
Mhm.
a thought, but um
Yeah, it's about that too. Like encouraging like incentivizing the community.
Yeah.
But I think the code also is related to what can you do and can't do. But as a city, I think if you plant one tree, we should have a ratio of 3 to 1. Like we cut one, we have to plant
Right.
3. And making the community feel the need to do that. Like it's just like, okay, we cut a tree, let's try to encourage having more. Because one of them or two may die and just one will survive, right?
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Mhm.
that's another idea. Volunteers, see what is happening, and tree canopy initiatives to measure, and the ash, the emerald board also survey, identifying and helping the city to make a plan how to address this problem. And we have these links that also Dylan helped us to add, so we should review them again and try to bring more ideas.
Mhm.
Okay, that's it. That's it from point number 6 from my side. I don't know if someone else have any other idea.
Well, thanks for staying with us.
So what about number 7?
You know, I'm not seeing that Rob's letter is on the agenda, and I want to make sure that we get to that,
Yeah,
so that he can get it to
Victoria and
the.
I talked
Oh
about.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we can do that under new business.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
okay. So goals. Sorry, energy for 2026 low cost. We talked about this before. We like in the previous meeting, right?
Yeah, what did we?
We're still in the gas topic about discouraging, but I think that will be. It will take us a lot.
What I wonder is, Dylan, could you point one of us? I mean, I'm happy to do this. Could you point me to the parts of the code that relate to this question? And in particular, fee structures when people are installing appliances. Because it would be, seems like what we might do is have one of us sort of review what the city does right now, if there are any incentives to move away from gas and toward electric, um, just as a starter. Does that make sense?
Not completely. I don't think we have any incentive programs for switching to electric or anything like that. That's the question.
Yeah, so we have nothing.
Nothing that I am aware of. No.
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because we just bought a new build house and we have gas appliances, and I was surprised.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, and part of it too is new build and then replacement. Some cities are incentivizing replacement with electric by having fee structures. So I don't know where to begin with this. I mean, I do think this is worth pursuing,
Mhm.
if for no other reason than to develop patterns where, especially when somebody replaces, since we're not building a lot of new housing, we might find ways to incentivize people to, when they replace appliances, to move to electric. That's the argument here.
I mean, the hard part, it sounds like it's like a budget thing.
Yep.
I mean, the city's budget is struggling, so adding new programs like that are going to be a challenge for sure.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Um, yeah, and we don't, when people, it's always at the permitting stage. Yeah, forget it. Leave it.
Yeah.
Yeah. If we had more new building, it would make a difference, but
Mhm.
Right.
so are we done with number 7?
Yes, if
Yep.
is just an action item. Yep. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay.
Letter. New businesses.
Yep. I have this. So can I share the screen? I'll just
Yes.
share this with you. If I can figure out how to do it. How do I do it? How do I do it? Copy, report an issue. No. Share. There we go. Okay. Share. Let's see what I'm trying to share. Oh, I see. Roberto.
You want me to share or you're
Yeah, I think. Okay. Allow to
send it
share
to me in the email so I can.
screen. I think I'm able to do this. Hold on a sec. You don't see my screen now, do you?
No.
Yeah, we still. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to share
So
it.
I think you need to accept which do you want a screen or an application.
Yeah,
Sometimes
and I just tried that, and now my computer's freezing up.
if you send it to me, I can share. Yeah.
Yeah, if I can even get out of this, this is like okay, it's just stuck. Come on, away. Oh my gosh. Cancel. There we go. Yeah, let me just send it to you.
Yeah.
Just forwarding to you what I sent the other day.
Yeah.
There you go. That should be there. And at the bottom of that email, the first attachment is the Dear Council members.
Waiting. I haven't received it yet.
Yeah, email. Long and short of it is, it's we just are urging the council to speak out in support of. This is boilerplate that people are using across the country. A paragraph that explains why we're spending money we shouldn't have to spend on cleanup after disasters, and then a paragraph urging them to. And I would change this instead of asking them to urge Rep. Walters to introduce legislation, just to tell them if legislation is introduced, to speak as a council to Walter and to Rob Wagner. Our senator is in an odd position. He can't introduce legislation like this. He can support it. He has not in the past, so that would probably be the most important uh, contact to make. Jules is in support of this and might
Can
be
you
one
see
of
it
the
now?
candidates.
Yeah.
You
Yes.
get it? Yeah, good.
Yeah. I'm sharing
So
it. Can you see it? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, good.
Okay.
Yeah, so the second paragraph is just the boilerplate. I think I sent it to all of you. You can click on the links.
yes.
It's the usual. Yep.
Okay.
And the third paragraph, I would revise this and not actually ask them to urge Rep. Walters to do this, but rather simply speak as a council in support of legislation if it gets introduced in the 2027 legislative session. and to urge Senator Walter or Senator Wagner to support it as well. So that paragraph would be revised, and otherwise I think it could stand as it is. The goal here is for folks promoting this with city councils and county commissions is really to get them to speak as a council and in this case as a council in the case of the Clackamas County Commissioners as a commission. It's one thing for them to speak individually, but if they speak as a whole, then it has a much greater impact.
So I'm in support of the letter, Rob. Would you be interested in sending it both to the city council and the county commissioners?
Yeah, I'll be doing stuff with the county commissioners as well. Yes, and
Great.
if we did that as a sustainability board, advisory board,
Yeah.
all the better. That'd be great.
Good.
I'm happy to sign these things. Yeah. If we're all agree.
Okay, we've got time. Why don't I revise the third paragraph? I should have done it before today. I forgot. And do it one more time at our next meeting, and then we can be done with it and send it out.
Okay. That sounds good.
Okay.
Any other questions from anybody else?
Say it again.
Oh, I was just wondering if Samantha or Michelle have any questions.
Yeah.
Nope. It's just great.
Yeah, I think it's good to look at the bill. It's very interesting. But yeah, I think
Yeah, the reality is it's not entirely certain that it will come back in the 2027 session. I think some folks are getting cold feet, but we'll see.
Do you have a summary, like another one of these links about is this the impact? That's a time. Remember the website that is there an assessment besides this about the impact about the weather?
Of the
yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean plenty. I mean, if you want linked, you mean in that paragraph that the U.S. spends, etc.
Yeah, like here. I don't know, something. If you have it, if you don't, that's fine.
Yep, you mean now or just to add it as links to the letter?
Maybe you can add links to the letter.
Yeah, sure. And if next time, if you want me to share some of that stuff, sure. Yeah, there's plenty. There's way too much. So, yeah.
And I'm assuming that if this were passed, it would mean that oil companies would be responsible for a cleanup in that section on the Columbia River in North Portland where all of the oil storage tanks are located. And if something were to happen to those tanks, then this piece of legislation would come into play in terms of the requirement that the oil companies would help clean that up. Is that correct?
Actually, no. So the legislation actually covers damages from, and depending, by 2027, the damages would be 1995 to 2026. So it's essentially requiring them to pay into a fund that recovers those costs. That money then, yeah. So this is a bill that if it passes, if it is not forestalled by either federal legislation or a Supreme Court ruling that we're going to, that case, the Colorado case, is going before the Supreme Court in the fall. If those things don't stop this kind of legislation, we'll see this sort of legislation repeatedly enacted. So what you would do then is enact it to cover from 95 to 2026. And then as new disasters occur, you'd reenact to cover the subsequent disasters. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So yeah, we are experiencing a unprecedented El Nino event this year. and the next
Yep.
year also. And this is a
Yep.
cyclic process, right? But also, you should just be prepared that sometimes is dismissed because it's a cyclic and known
Right.
situation.
Yeah.
Like it always snow. It's like last year we didn't have a lot of snow here, and there's a problem, and nobody's talking about it.
Yeah. Yeah. There you. Yeah. Sorry. That's sort of the ongoing. They're attacking attribution science now, and that's there's lots of reasons to think that this won't even that our letter will be pointless because because the legislation can't even get off the ground. But I think this is getting city council and local elected support and official support is really helpful to get it if it gets introduced and getting passed. So I'll tinker again a little bit, bring it back next meeting, and then we can be done.
Or we can do it offline too. And would you agree me sharing this document online in Google Docs and everybody
Sure.
work and make comments here
Yep.
to make it more
Yep.
efficient?
That's fine. Yep.
Okay. And the question is why you want to change this paragraph? I say it's good.
I don't think asking them to urge
Ask.
Jules to introduce legislation is appropriate. I think just asking them to speak in favor of it as a council to Jules, and I mean what she would do would be to encourage them to come and testify in hearings or to submit testimony for the bill were to come into play as a council. So that's enough.
Okay, that's a good word. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
So you can go ahead and share it. That's fine. That's great. Thanks.
Yep. Thank you all. Anything else? Any comment? I think we are close to the end. So we have new business action items. I'll need to review the notes, to be honest. One important is review the low cost initiative points again by ourselves before coming to the next meeting. The other is going to be, if I remember, is working together for the tree code ordinance and tree canopy initiatives offline. Michelle, Victoria, and myself. Moving forward, contacting volunteers and volunteers leaders. Dylan has most of the action items in terms of providing us information about one was about the guidelines of purchase for to avoid waste that is recycling or is like encouraged to use recycling purchases materials. The other is find if there's a building code ordinance about sustainable materials. The other was about the garden. Victoria and Rob, they're gonna check. One is sustainable gardening examples, and the other is Dylan is gonna go and check if a community garden can be done in a private property, right? Like that was the main action item. Am I missing something, Greg? Do you remember?
I guess the only thing, I think that this meeting was probably Victoria's last meeting as co-chair. And am I correct, Rob, that Victoria said that you were willing to kind of step in and do that?
Yeah, that's right. I will.
Okay.
I will take that on.
Great. So if I'd like to thank you for doing that. Right? So
Yeah,
thank
no
you
problem.
both for moving into this. It's good.
Yes, no problem.
Yeah. Yeah, so Roberto, we should be in touch right away about getting minutes out, and yep, anything I can do to help, let me know at this point,
Awesome.
since I'm new to it.
I try to use technology most of the time, and I'm gonna send these documents offline and working together.
Great.
Good.
Okay.
And review the letter offline. So we made changes and comments, and so Rob can hand it off to the council and the Clackamas County Council.
Good.
So next meeting will be September 17th, in a month, and this is a online meeting again, or if I understand.
I think so.
Correct? Okay. So I think we may adjourn if there's nothing else we are gonna discuss. Any comments? Welcome,
Nope.
Michelle, and yeah, thanks so for
Yeah,
joining.
welcome, Michelle.
Yes.
Yeah,
welcome.
How do you
welcome.
pronounce your name? Michal, right?
Michal,
Michal,
yeah.
Michal.
Yeah, Michal. That's what I thought. Yep.
Okay.
Bivrit.
Ivrit, yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Bivrit.
taught someone, Rob. What did you
Yeah,
teach?
yeah.
Someone
Yep.
said
So,
Bible, Christianity, something.
yeah.
Thank
Thank you, Roberto.
Dylan. Yeah, thank you
Yes.
all, and thank
Bye.
you,
Thank
Dylan.